What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Off the Ball podcast with me, your host, Chris LeBron. I am the owner of the Off the Ball Network, and I'm back. NBA draft season is almost here. The NBA draft just a few weeks away, and we are full bore going into this as we approach draft day. So I'm very excited. And I did a piece on Off the Ball Network. Make sure you check it out. I did a whole first round mock, and I'm going to discuss my mock draft. Had some people chime in, good things, bad things. You know how that works. So let's dive right into it. My mock draft, I did the first round, and I'm going to talk about, this kind of is how I feel it's going to go, and just what I'm hearing from online, from all the draft heads, and just what you're hearing from around the league. So that's kind of how I based it. And we'll talk about some guys that didn't go in round one, maybe some surprises for some of you people, and we'll talk about everything. So let's get right into it. Obviously, let's do it. NBA draft, man. This is the most. This is like Christmas for me. This is what kind of got the podcast going and popping. So I'm very, very excited to be talking draft, and let's get right into it with the Orlando Magic on the clock. The Orlando Magic have the number one pick once again. I think this is the fourth time they have had the number one pick. So, with the first pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic selected Jabari Smith from Auburn. He gives them a wing that is dynamic at 6'10" plus and a lethal shooter from outside. Add that with Wagner and Suggs and Bamba and Wendell Carter and Fultz. You have some. You add another piece and a potential all-star level player, and that's kind of what the rumblings you've been hearing is that Jabari is the guy, and I think he should be the guy here. He is a specimen. He is everything you want in today's basketball. Modern day wing who can pull up in your face. He can, like say, shoot it from outside. There's some things he needs to work on, his handle and all that, some defensive things. But other than that, he is what you want in a modern day wing, tall, wingspan, all that stuff. To me, from Orlando, this is who I take. Take Jabari, and you continue to grow your roster of good young pieces, and good things are going to be happening in Orlando soon. Jabari has all-star potential. He has the highest upside in this draft. So I'm going Jabari Smith with the first pick with Orlando. Number two, with the number two pick, the Oklahoma City select Chet Holmgren. And I talked about this with a lot of people, talked about this with Walker before. These top three picks feel like this is where they should go. They feel like Jabari feels like a Orlando Magic. And then with the second pick, I got Chet Holmgren going to the Oklahoma City from Gonzaga. He feels like an Oklahoma City Thunder. He's a rare player. It's really hard to like even compare what he can be in the next level in the pros and all that. But 7'1", wingspan crazy, guard-like qualities, can handle the ball, can shoot it from deep. Defensively is special, has special traits. Like he's going to be, even if the offense takes a little bit, I think the defense, protecting the rim and all that you're going to see that instantly in Oklahoma City. And you add that with that crew with Shea and Poku and Baisley, and they got some guys. So you add that, Chet, it's going to, if the offensive game grows, you got someone, you got to, whatever we ever thought Porzingis would be, I think that's what Chet's going to be. He's a special talent. And I think obviously a lot of people worried about the strength and his, but you saw some things at Gonzaga. I mean, he got dirty with people. So he's not afraid to get down low and bang it with some of the big people. Obviously, he's going to get stronger, but to me, that's not really a weakness and all that. You're going to get stronger, but there's plenty of guys that have thin frames that are having success in the league. So I think that comes natural. He will get stronger. I mean, yeah, not saying he's Giannis, but Giannis was very similar, skinny, and look at Giannis now. He's grown into his body. that will eventually happen with Chet. It's just a matter of if his offensive game is going to translate, especially from outside and all that. So if that works, I mean, you got someone special with Chet. So Chet to Oklahoma City with the second pick. With the third pick, the Houston Rockets select my number one player, Paolo Banchero from Duke. He's someone that is a bulldog, 6'10", 245 pounds, 50 pounds. You know, that mid range where he just seems like that's where he's the most comfortable with, and I feel like he can take it out to the 3-point line. So you got someone that could do that. Underrated passer, do some things. I know the defense gets criticized with him a lot, but I feel like once he learns some techniques and all that, he could be a solid defender. Because sometimes I think he forgot he's 250 pounds, especially in college. Guys just run into you and they're not moving. You're like, they ain't getting past you, man. You a bulldog. You're a bull, you know. So I think Paolo is going to possess. He has ball handling skills. In the post, he's good. The size and all that, and you add that with Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun. They got man. That's another piece, and that it's gonna fit real good in Houston, and they're gonna score some points. Defensively, they may be a little lacking in Houston, but they may be a fun team to watch next year. So the Houston Rockets select Paolo Banchero. He's my number one player overall on my board, and I think he's gonna be a very, very good pro. Man, just has the size, everything, and all that. So I think he's gonna be good. This is where the draft kind of starts. We know the top three. It's just a matter of order, but I think that will be the order top three. This is where it starts because Jaden Ivey is a is kind of in that been in that 4 range. But Sacramento has the pick. And we all know Sacramento tends to do things that we they'll throw you a curveball. But this is where all the trade scenarios have been happening. Numerous trades. You think about Detroit, Mason possibly wanting to trade up in that top 4. You hear San Antonio possibly wanting to trade up to that top 4. You hear the New York Knicks possibly trading into that top 4. So there's a few teams that would possibly want to jump into that top 4. But if we're staying put, no trades, Sacramento, it's Jaden Ivey, right? It's got to be Jaden Ivey. And I know the De'Aaron Fox and all that. Mitchell, they took like Davion Mitchell, they took last year from Baylor. They just got rid of Tyrese Halliburton. I think you just got to take the best player available, and that is Jaden Ivey. I mean, you add him and Fox together in that backcourt. That's gonna be tough for teams to stop. If that's what you get. Like I said, not maybe not most ideal fit for Sacramento, but that's the best player. You take him. You take him if you're Sacramento. If you keep the pick, I think this is definitely a possibility of a trade. I think someone's going to try to move up to 4, but if Sacramento stays put, it should be Ivy, but it's Sacramento, so we don't know what Sacramento's exactly going to do. They can just throw us a curveball and take someone that we don't even know that was even talked about in the top 10. So staying put is Jaden Ivey. Hopefully, I would love for a team in New York that plays at a Madison Square Garden to try to move up and get a player like this. I think that would be a game changer. But you add that might be the quickest duo in the league, Ivy Fox, and you have a nice piece there to build. Especially if you do wind up getting rid of Fox, you have Ivy there and Davion. That's a nice get some offense and some defense. That's a nice 1-2 punch in the backcourt. Let's go with Detroit. This is kind of where the draft kind of can go all over the place. And it's not that it's a drop off in talent. It may be to like a little bit, but it's kind of just where, all right, we know the consensus top 4. 5 is kind of 5 and down has kind of been, it could go, it's a wide range. So 5, I think I went with Shaden Sharp from, played in Canada. Kind of the unknown. I didn't put Kentucky because he didn't play. He went to Kentucky, but he didn't play. He didn't play a second. So I just put he's from Canada. Essentially, all you have is just like this high school tape and all that, AAU and all that stuff. So you don't have much on Shader. So essentially, this pick is just a simple risk it pick. because you don't have any film. And this kind of goes back to when we had essentially high school kids coming out, and all you have is high school film, and you're just banking on potential. And for a lot of guys, you hit home runs. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett's, Dwight Howard's, and list goes on. But forever, there's a bunch of guys that didn't work out. So it is going to be tough, but he has all the tools you want. And you add him to a Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, you got something there. And then a guy who's strong, physical tools, everything you want in a wing player, and he could fit into the two you play in right there with Cade. And man, you could have a special duo with those two. It's risky. We don't know anything about it. But to me, I'm Detroit. You trying to build off Cade's great season, especially played great towards. Let's see this. Struggled a little bit in the beginning. People calling him a bust. No, definitely not a bust. But you have a nice backcourt with those two, and continue to Killian Hayes also still high on Killian Hayes. You have those three. That's a nice guard trio right there. And you add some talent to Detroit, and I think Shaden Sharp, I would be the pick for me. At 6, Indiana Pacers select Keegan Murray, Mr. Smooth himself from Iowa. And that's exactly what I said. He's smooth with it. 23-8 last year. Just crazy efficient numbers. 55% from the field, 40% from 3 last year. Just great off the ball, no pun intended. And just you add him with Hallie, man, what he can do in transition off the catch and all that. You add him with Hallie, I think you have something. You got some pieces to build in Indiana, and I think it's kind of like the top 3. Keegan feels like a pacer. He feels like a pacer to me. It just got that feeling. It feels like a pacer. So I got Keegan Murray going 6 to the Indiana Pacers. At 7, Portland taking AJ Griffin, another player that kind of unknown, not to the extent of like Shaden Sharp, obviously, because we saw him at Duke, but we didn't get to see him really much that early at Duke because he had to deal with some injuries. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing for AJ is the injuries. He got injured in high school, missed some time in high school, missed some time at Duke, started off a little shaky at Duke. But the flashes we saw at Duke of the shot making, the off-ball creation, moving and all that, and he definitely felt like he got comfortable more as the season went on and showed that great isolation type player. Definitely some things he needs to work on defensively, of course, but you add that to Portland and give him a piece, try to make Dame happy, give him a piece like AJ Griffin to go along with Anthony Simons and you got something there. They got Norm Powell still, so you got some pieces there. So I think AJ Griffin's the pick here. At number 8 pick, the New Orleans Pelicans. They got this pick from the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers probably still sick that they that they lost his pick, but I'm gonna take Benedict Mathurin, and I feel like I love him. I think he should go higher, and he could go higher. And maybe I should have put him to Portland, but I feel like you add him to this lineup with Bi at Trey and Herb Jones and Zion. Help these, put them in the playoffs. I should get a lock button on my soundboard here. Block them in the playoffs to their playoff team. They showed that last year with no Zion and no real, no real true floor general. Maybe Kyra can finally be that dude next year, get some more run. Like a Jose Alvarado. They got some dogs, man. Jonas Valanciunas is getting 20 rebounds a game. They got something there. Add a player like Benedict, who can, man, who can score. He could shoot. He could do everything. Played great in the tournament. Big reason why Arizona did the thing in the tournament. So, and I love him. I think there's two-way potential there too with him. Athletic, everything. I think you fit him there. You had like got like a death lineup with guys just 6'8" plus, and with long arms. They have something special there in New Orleans, and shout out to them for Willie Green and company for the Zion stuff was a disaster, and staying put. They started off terrible. I mean, miserable. Look, people are talking about, is Willie Green even going to start? Is it going to be one and done this season? But luckily, great season, and I think Benedict Mather that'd be a great addition to this team. With the 9th pick, the San Antonio Spurs, I have them taking Johnny Davis. 28-8, 20-8 at Wisconsin. It was a dog for them. Improvements from freshman to sophomore year, just a massive leap, massive leap he took. I think he went from 7 a game to 20 a game. Was the question leader of that Wisconsin team. Can create, pull up, can do a lot of things. Get to the basket, play off ball, great rebounder for a guard, and just tough as nails, man. And I feel like he goes to San Antonio, and you add him with DeJounte. I know they got some other guards there, but you add him there, and you got add some scoring to that team. And I think Johnny Davis would be a great fit to that San Antonio Spurs team. So I'm going Johnny Davis, the man from Wisconsin, Mr. Taco Bell, to the San Antonio Spurs. All right, this one hurts me that I'm going to do this, but I try to put my draft hat on, and feels like I'm going to get hurt being a Knicks fan that this happens, because this is my number one guy for the Knicks. But number 10, Washington Wizards. I have them selecting Dyson Daniels from the G League. That hurts because I want him on the Knicks. But he's arguably one of my favorite prospects. He's probably my favorite prospect in this draft. But he's versatile, long, can play the passing lanes, great playmaker. Definitely could take the load off Brad. Could play the wing, could play the guard spots. Essentially play 1 through 3. Very versatile. Does a lot of great things in the pick and roll situations. Needs to work on his shot from an outside, but I think that'll come shot better towards the end of the season. But man, I think they can have themselves a potential guy that could do a little bit of everything. Big guard that could do everything. Add a piece, because it feels like Brad's going to stay in Washington. That's just what it feels like. I think you add Dyson Daniels, you add themselves a guy who can make plays, with the ball, without the ball, do some things on defense. Maybe the best defensive prospect in this draft, and you add a hell of a player. So Dyson Daniels going to the Washington Wizards. All right, here we go. Are we going to get boos? Are we going to get cheers? Let's see. With the 11th pick, the New York Knicks select Jaden Hardy from the G League. A once top 5 lock in this draft. Kind of went up, kind of went down. From what I've been hearing, people saying, I'm getting a lot of boos. Maybe because when you read all the tea leaves and all the articles, and you just look at the percentages, it's like, well, why do I want a guy who's not efficient? No, but he did shoot the ball way better towards the end of the season, and it was also a small size. It's a sample size. Let's be real, guys. I think less than 20 games they played in the G League, so not a great sample size. But to me, he's a guy that I think is someone that can handle the ball, great size, can play both guard positions, and you just adding in his upside too. I think I love the upside. I think you can get yourself he's a dynamic guard. You add that with Emmanuel quickly and all that, and you just add talent. And I think right now he's the best player available at my. And I just feel like with everyone who's gone under at this point, I think there's probably other guys that you can take, maybe like Malachi Branham or Ousmane Dieng I thought about, but Ousmane Dieng to me is too raw, and I don't think Knicks need someone who can do something now. And I think Jaden Hardy is also someone that game translates more at the pro level, especially at the NBA level where they're playing faster and all that. And I feel like he got more comfortable towards the end of the G League season, and so I feel comfortable if the Knicks take him at 11 and they get themselves a guy who can just simply get you a bucket. He's a bucket getter. He's a hooper. Knicks need some hoopers on this team, and you add that, and I think at first they may not be happy, but Knicks, trust me on this one. I feel like this would be a good pick. All right. With the 12th pick, we got Oklahoma City with their second first-round pick. They got this pick from the Clippers. 12. I feel like, they're just trying to build guys that for the long term, and I feel like Ousmane Dieng fits that. Raw, super rawer than the chicken in my freezer right now, but super talented. Played well late in the NBL season. Played well late, struggled a little bit early, but played well late. Showed off all that ball handling, defending, and all that, super long and all that. And I just feel like he fits perfectly what they want to do down the road, and he can definitely hit down the road. And a lot of potential in there with Usman, and I think you get someone that you could build for the future, and oozing with potential, and just someone you could build for the future with Chet, and company. That's someone I think I think that's where he'll land. So got Ousmane Dieng going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. With the 13th pick, to me, this is like the most lockiest of the lockiest picks. That's even a thing. Mark Williams going to the Charlotte Hornets at 13. To me, if he's there at 13, now obviously there's a certain player that hasn't been selected yet that might be there too. But to me, Mark Williams to Charlotte, that's like the lock of the draft to me. That's other than Jabari to me being number one, other than the top three being the top three, that's actually top four being top four. This is the most locked to me. Mark Williams going to Charlotte. Just a great rim runner, shot blocker. I think I buy some of his like mid-range shot, creation, so a little bit of that at Duke. I think he can do that more than maybe Jalen Durant could. But you give him with LaMelo, Marco. Whoo, deadly pick and roll, man. Some deadly pick and roll. They just hired Kenny Atkinson. I think you could do some special things. So what he did with D'Angelo Williams and well, I forgot the big man from the Cavs right now, but you could do some great things. You could do some great things, and I like that pick. All right, with the 14th pick and the last pick of the lottery, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Malachi Branham from Ohio State. Man, slow start to his freshman season, but came on late, one Big Ten freshman of the year. Just a shot creator and all that. His last 17 games, shot 52% from the field, 43% from deep. Not a great sample size from deep, but to me, I buy his shot creation on it. And Cleveland feels like they need guys who can get you buckets, and he can get you buckets. And you add that to Garland, Sexton, Okoro. They got still got Karis LeVert. Got a squad. They got some things, and they fell off late. Still got Kevin Love. Fell off late, but they have some good pieces on this roster that can do some things in the future. This Cavs team, a lot of people didn't see them coming, and they came quick, and they came quicker than we expected. Had a good season, and some special Evan Mobley. How to forget about Evan Mobley? A rookie of the year candidate. Lamar Stevens. They got some good Pete, Laura marketing, and obviously Jared Allen was talking about from the Nets. His name just split my mind. But they got they got D Wade, but I love what JB Bickerstaff did last year, and I like the pick. You add Malachi to that, and you continue to build off a very good season for Cleveland Cavaliers, and I like that selection of Malachi Branham. Get the kid from Ohio to stay in Ohio. All right. Charlotte with their second pick from New Orleans. Give them another rim running guy that could just, you got LaMelo. LaMelo might lead the league in assists next year. Well, if you add him, like Jeremy Shochan from Baylor. it's kind of crazy how his teammate at one point was higher to him, and then now they kind of flip flop. But Jeremy, you just give him a guy that could just run in transition, just run. You don't have to ask him to shoot and all that. Ask him to run. He's great in close. He's great in space. Great cutter and all that, man. You add that with Bridges and all that, man. You just might have yourself a highlight reel type of type of team. LaMelo might do some even more special things if you add Jeremy Sochan to this team. And so I'm going to go with Jeremy Sochan going to the Charlotte Hornets. All right, Atlanta. They need guys that can defend. And to me, this is maybe another like easy pick. You had Tari Eason from LSU. You see some people have him top 7 type. I think that's a little too high for Tari, but 6'8", 7'2" wingspan, man. that's and I know wingspan could get you in trouble because you don't want to just bank off, but defensively, what he does, he gets in you. He's a dog. Gets in you. All right, this is a team that ranked bottom 4 or 5 in defensive in the defensive rating. And they just need to get better defensively to help Trae Young. Trae Young's not going to do much defensively. And the offense, I don't know if it's ever going to come, the offense, but he did show some things offensively from outside that, if it comes, you can have yourself a nice player. But defensively right away, he's going to make an impact. He's going to help out. And that's desperately what they need. If they improve their defense, this team will definitely be back where they were just 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals. That could be that type of team again, and it won't take that long. So Tyrese would be a great pick. All right, Houston with their second pick, 17th pick. Give them Ty Washington. Ty was another guy. Started off. People crapped on him after that first game versus Duke with Trevor Keels. And wanted to say, oh, he ain't this, he ain't that, Ty. But he's another guy that I loved a lot, and someone that I would consider the Knicks at 11. But he's someone that played a lot of off ball at Kentucky. But when he did have the opportunity to play the pure point, I think it was the game against Georgia. I think he had like 17 assists. And I know it's Georgia, so it's hard to get too excited about that, but it still showed that when he does have the ball in his hand, that he can create and play make. And I think that's an underrated aspect of his game. Towards the end of the season, he did get banged up to get an ankle injury, and that kind of hampered his second half of the season. Because if the first half matched second half of the season, we're talking about him maybe as a top 10 pick. But still at 17, you add him to Houston, with Jalen and all that. Bankero, I think that's a great pick, and gives them another guard that can handle the rock. So I think and maybe one of the Kentucky guys that breaks out. We see a lot of Kentucky guys that we don't see their full bag in Kentucky. Then they go to the pros, and we're like, whoa, we didn't see that. Could be the case for Ty. And I think it could be. I really think it can be the case, and where we see a full blend of what his game is at especially in Houston, where they're probably going to run. They're going to run. They're going to play a lot of defense, but they're going to run. They're going to score. So, all right, Chicago. I always feel like in the draft, someone's going to drop. And I could see Jalen Duran dropping. And if it does happen, what a better place to go to Chicago. They need to add some size. Now, they got Vooch, but Vooch is not a rim protector and all that. And you don't know if he's going to be there long term. Jalen Duran, you don't have to pressure. He come in back up there, and then he could block some shots and do that. And what the underrated aspect of his game is his passing, especially in the post, man. Especially, tough situation in Memphis. The point guard situation and all that. Penny just didn't. They played good. They're late. But early on, it's a lot of struggles. They did come on late, and then that situation was tough. But he definitely, I could definitely see some little jumper. He gets a lot of comparisons to Dwight Howard. I don't see quite Dwight, especially that dominance, especially inside. But I do think he can do little things, be more little bit more creative offensively, but I just don't think he'll be as dominant. I think the Dwight thing, I don't like comparing guys. I never saw the Dwight thing, but I think he could be solid. I think he'd be solid. Block shots and all that. And do some things. I think it gives him time to develop his game and not have to be thrown into the wolves right away. So Jalen Duran going to the men to Chicago at 18. 19, I got EJ Liddell going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Another guy, just versatile, man. Super versatile, 6'7". I think he could be a better Grant Williams. And Grant Williams' role is playing his role really good in Boston, but I think kind of in that mold, that type of player that could do a little bit of everything. Not do everything, not do one thing great or excellent, but do a lot of good things. Just do a bunch of little things good. And I think, you know, maybe like a little Draymond ish, where he could handle the ball, make some plays, get to the basket. Also, he's got, you know, incredibly long arms and can shoot it a little bit. So and can shoot the ball. So I think um especially from the mid range, he could do some damage. So not a crazy athlete, but the wingspan is crazy. And I think him in Minnesota, you add that to that roster, I think he fits right in, and I think he could be about an immediate impact type of player too for that Minnesota team. All right, with 20th pick, San Antonio with another pick. I think Nikola Jovic. Nikola Jovic to me, another guy who was coming in, had a lot of top 10 buzz, top 5 buzz. Um, Another guy who's just super skilled for his size at 6'10". Another guy's long wingspan, handle the block, make plays, finish at the bat, sneaky athlete, can yam on your head. He's sneaky good with that. And I know the shooting is something that it's been inconsistent, but I think in that system, I think long term, I buy him being a solid shooter. Not gonna be a great shooter, but I think he's a solid shooter. So I like him going here. I think you add him, and I think I gave John Davis. You get just two guys that just know how to play basketball, and that's good. That's two good picks for them. Just add some players, add some big guys, a- and you just add some talent. All right, 21, Denver, maybe the mover of all movers in the draft. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, man. One of the big, he won the combine, man. He just did absolutely. He probably did the most work as far as helping his draft stock. Probably was like in that second round range, and probably bumped himself to a top 20 pick for sure. I mean, he's just this guy who just keeps improving and improving every year of his college career. Superb off the catch and shoot. Can hit the three at 40% clip. And it didn't add scoring, man. He just need to add. They need to add scores in Denver. Don't you expect Jamal Murray to be back? You don't know the situation. With man, I can't forget his name. But you just need to add scores along with the MVP. And he'll provide that. He'll provide that. Provide some scoring and all that. And just add talent. Got to add more talent around the big man. You got to around talent, but yeah, 2-time MVP. You can't. Got to be able to capitalize off this. Add more scoring. Because Gordon's not. They got Bones. Do like Bones Highland down the road. I think he's gonna be a good one. But Michael Porter. See, got baby brain. So happens when you got kids, you forget. Think Peppa Pig and all that. I almost said Peppa Pig before. But Michael Porter, you don't know his situation. So just gotta add guys who can give you buckets. Get another bucket getter on that, and I think that's exactly what Jalen is. He's a bucket getter. And add that. Just keep adding scoring around with Nikola Jovic, and just keep doing things. And I think that's a good pick for them. All right, 22nd pick, Memphis Grizzlies select Bryce McGowens from Nebraska. Another guy who just to me, it's simple, man. I know a lot of people like to just, do all these synergy and all that, and that's cool. I like all that. I like all that stuff. But sometimes you just gotta watch a dude and be like, hey, that dude just gets buckets. And there's a few guys in this, and I just mentioned Jalen and a few guys, Hardy. This guy's another bucket getter. Bryce is a bucket getter for a bad team. Just took the team and just took over. And I think he's just one of the more confident guys. Great athletic abilities, crafty around the rim. You put him along with Bane and Ja. They also need a guy that could get them buckets too. Add Bryce to that. I think that's a great pick for them. I think he would fit in right perfectly there. And so I think I Bryce McGowan's going to Nebraska. From Nebraska going to Memphis. All right. So this pick was so Brooklyn had the option of taking this pick from Philly or taking next year's Philly pick. So from what I recall, they're going to wind up taking next year's Philly pick, which could be a higher pick. So that was smart by the Nets. So right now, this is the Philadelphia 76ers pick at 23. And I'm going to give Marjo Beauchamp from the G League. Freaky athlete. Went he went the JUCO route, so that's why he's kind of one of the older. You might think G League guys are 19. I think he's 21. But he's just gonna yam on you. He's gonna yam you. A freak athlete, versatile and everything. Outside shot is coming along, and add that to Philly and all that, and I think you'll let him develop behind Tobias, learn from Tobias, and I think you can get yourself a nice player down the line. Add that with Maxey, Embiid, got something there. All right, Milwaukee. They need a dynamic guard. Dynamic guard. That's Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee. Another one, ups and highs and lows. A verse was probably a lottery pick, then dropped, but then towards the end of the season, he went back to being, to me, a first round lock and maybe even higher. But they had some juice with this one. And he's not a big dude. Not a big dude, but he don't play like it. He don't play like he's a little dude. He plays like he got big dude. Pushes the ball, dynamic playmaker. But he's a gamer. He works on both sides. I think he's gonna be a nemesis on both sides. And I think you add that to Milwaukee and add some youth and injection to that lead guard spot. I love this pick. I feel like this is like match made in heaven. I think if you're Milwaukee, Kennedy Chandler's there, you run to the board and you make this pick. And I think that helps them out a lot going into next season. All right, San Antonio with another pick, the third pick, give them Johnny Davis, and then I gave them Jovic. Going to go with Ishmael Kamagate, the big man from Paris. I think the Spurs need to hit on. They got a lot of good pieces, but I feel like they have to build and see what guys are gonna pop and be franchise potential players. And I feel like with the especially with Jovic and Kamagate with this pick, I think you could potentially get. I think Johnny Davis. I don't know how high his upside is, but I feel like he can come in instantly and be a impact player. But he's he's super raw. He definitely is super raw. But man, I feel like he runs like a gazelle, man. This he's a unicorn type player, man. He runs, but instantly he's gonna be able to just eat everything around the paint and just block everything, and has room to grow and get bigger, man. It's scary. The upside of him is insane, and I feel like at this point at 25, you taking the chance on that at 25 and trusting your system. If this was any other team, I don't know, but trusting them, I felt like I would buy into this and with the Ishmael and if you develop him the way you know how to develop players, you might have yourself a player. And already someone that is solid right now, and you develop him, could be a good player for them down the line. So I'm gonna go with Ishmael Kamagate. All right, Dallas with 26 pick. I'm gonna give them Oche Abaji, Kansas, Final Four, almost outstanding player, tremendous senior season. Probably going to go higher. Probably going to go a lot higher than this, but I feel like this is a perfect fit for him. Another good situation from him. Shot 40% from three his last year, while shooting close. So efficient player. They're probably going to lose. I shouldn't say probably. There's a chance of them losing Jalen Brunson. You don't know what Tim Hardaway's future is with this team. Feel like you get a guy who can work really well with alongside Luca, and I think that's how you got to look at things. Is can these players work alongside Luca? Luca's ball dominant, and but Oche can do some things. He's a scorer. They need some more scoring, and I know they definitely needed like a rim running. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they have a lot of assets to do it, but like if like a Jalen Duran falls or something like that, I think that'd be ideal for them to try to like get a player like him. But I don't see that happening. But I think adding Oche would be a good fit for them. And especially on the wing, get some more scoring off the wing. So add that. All right, another riser in this draft, and I feel like it would be a good and is on my old bucket team is Ryan Rollins, the guard from Toledo, another guy who's made some strides in his draft stock. Just a professional bucket getter. He's on my own bucket team. That's what he does. 3-level potential, great footwork and all that. He's got all the goods, man. He got everything. He got the whole bag and all that. And I know people have some skepticism about level of talent, level of competition. Not level of talent, level of competition he played against, and his outside shot. But possibility of losing Oladipo. Tyler Hero situation we're not clear about. I know he wants to start. We'll see how that goes. You add Ryan Rounds to that. You get himself. Miami needs scoring too. They need to add some scoring. And I think Ryan Rounds is a guy that can come off the bench. If they do slide Hero on the starting spot, especially if Depot's gone, and he could fit in that role perfectly. I'm gonna come off the bench and get him a nice punch off the bench. So Ryan Rollins to Miami, that feels like a good pick. All right, 28 Golden State. I don't see a lot of people having this guy with a first round grade. I get it, but I love him. I simply love him, and I feel like this would be this would be another great fit for this team. And Golden State taking Trevion Williams, Purdue, kind of gives you not the defensive impact that Draymond does, but you got someone like a Draymond on your second team to go along with guys like Kuminga, Moody, Wiseman. They could have a scary second unit next year. Scary second unit with Poole, and they could have a scary second unit next year. And then you could groom Trevion to be your Draymond. Because listen, Draymond has not looked the same, especially in this finals. Man, he hasn't not looked good at all. But great vision. Just man, he got skill. He's super skilled. And all that. And that could be your new version. That could be your new Draymond. Like, and you add that, like I said, with Wiseman, Moody, Kuminga. I mean, second unit. Your second unit can be youthful and give you a lot of energy. And I think next year this Warriors team could be even scarier. This Warriors team could be scarier next year. Imagine they win the chip this year. Going into next year, they could be scary because those guys are going to get better. Get a healthy Wiseman. Kuminga got some playoff minutes under his belt. Get Moody. Man. And that's go. Man, this team, they just know how to. They're doing it right, man. They've been doing it for almost a decade, man. They just know how to do it right. All right, 29th, Memphis Grizzlies. I'm gonna have them taking Patrick Baldwin Jr. I know he's one of those polarizing players. I know he's someone that people are very down on, and I get it. I simply do get it. But to me, at 29, man, you put him in Memphis. I like that. And I gave them. I had given them with the 22nd pick, gave him Bryce McGowan. You add that with PJ. You just add another guy that could shoot it from deep, long arms and all. Not a crazy good athlete, but some outside shooting and all that from PBJ. And I know he's not going to be in that top 10 range where he probably was top 5, top 10 going into the season. But I don't think he's as bad as people are putting him out to be. I think he's a lot better and has a lot of skill. Can pass the ball, can shoot, obviously. Bad situation. He went to his dad, thought that was the right thing. I think he was originally supposed to go to Duke. That didn't, wound up going to play with his pops. can't blame him for wanting to play with Pops and being the guy there, but just he had no one around him, and it actually hurt him. But I think he ended up in a good situation in Memphis they got Zaire there where they took a chance on the top 10. So they got some good young pieces there, and their team on the rise. If Ja's healthy, they could do some special things. You add PBJ to that, and you got someone that could potentially be a knockdown 3-point shooter down the line. So PBJ for me is the pick there. All right, the last pick in the first round, Oklahoma City selects Leonard Miller, another guy that we don't know much about. Another Canadian prospect. Canada got some hoopers, man, for 4A Academy. Like I said, like Sharp, no, we got nothing. We might have less on Leonard than we have on Shaded. But if we're just going on just pure measurables, he's got him, man. 6'11", 7'2" wingspan, youngest player in his class. But can handle the rock, can put it on the floor, get to the basket. And he just fits what Oklahoma City do. They just want to get young players and just develop and see what pops. And if they keep the pick here, and like I said, this whole first round is all based off who's staying put. It's not no trades or all that. It's hard to do all these trades, man. Brain can't handle all these trades, but this is just based off who's staying put and all that. But obviously he's a tough one. He's a tough one, but he's just going off pure talent. And sometimes you just gotta, especially at that point, you just taking guys off of pure talent and all that. And I think at that point with the 30th pick, I think I buy the talent and think just he fits the timeline. He just fits the timeline. So that concludes the first round. Like I said, now gonna just talk about some guys that didn't get selected, and there were some names that probably people are a little shocked that didn't get selected, and I'm gonna get into some of those probably names that people will probably ask me, well, why do you think that Jake Laravia from Wake Forest has got a lot of first round buzz, and I could see him definitely going in there. I just don't see the long term upside with him. I think he's definitely a nice player, can shoot it from deep, which I think like 39% from three. So definitely someone that definitely see going in the first round, probably at the back end of the first round. I could definitely see that. Christian Coloco is another one I've heard a lot of people have him in the first round, and that's someone maybe like a Dallas could be looking into. Like I definitely see Coloco in Dallas being something. Blake Wesley is another one. He's super athletic, balling, but not great around the rim and all. There's some things I'm just concerned about, but wouldn't be surprised if he's a first round pick. Wendell Carter Jr. I love Wendell Carter Jr. But I think people are gonna have to figure out okay, what happened the first 3 years of Duke? And then what is he? Are you more of that, or are you more of the player we saw your last year where you were just unbelievable, efficient, playmaker, ball handler? That's everything you want. That's Screen's first round pick, and he could be a first round pick for sure. Another name I see a lot in the first round, Andrew Nenhard. From Gonzaga. I see a lot of first round buzz. I feel like he's like a nice role player. And that's obviously something you need. I think he's more of a second round talent. Definitely someone that that teams are going to covet a lot on their team because he possesses a lot of great qualities. Dallin Terry's another one from Arizona, just a monster. And I think he's probably, and he was like out. He's like third, just didn't see. I don't know. I just didn't have him in the first round. Just that simple. I just didn't. I think someone's going to drop. He may not be. He probably will get selected in the first round. But Kendall Brown can be. That's the at one point he was a top 10, pick. Kendall Brown, I could see him going in the first round, but there's always going to be guys you think you could go in the first round, but there's only 30 picks. And this is a matter of fit and all that. But Gabriel Procida, someone, the Italian guard, someone I talked about a lot, months ago, my guy Steven, we talked about him a while ago. But there's gonna be guys that we think are locked first round that's gonna drop, that's gonna drop. Christian Braun's another one I like a lot. I just like his size and all that. So it's draft's almost here, guys. NBA draft is almost here. I'm excited. Let me know how you feel about this first round. It put a lot of work into this, and then I'm excited. I'm excited about the draft, man. Excited about what the Knicks are going to do. Really, really, really excited about what the Knicks are going to do. I think they'll find. I think they're going to do well. June 23rd can't come here, but we got 12 more days. It goes so fast. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get a few more, maybe do a live mock maybe next week. I'm gonna try to get maybe sneak in some maybe try to get some players on, some potential draft picks on. Maybe I can get some in. Work schedule's been crazy. That's why I've been having to do as much as I usually do, like the last 2 previous cycles. But I promise you, it's gonna change. That's gonna change real soon. And we're gonna kill it. But make sure we're definitely gonna have something planned for the Off the Ball Network for draft party. We're gonna do a draft party. We're gonna be live. We're gonna be breaking down picks. We're gonna be talking about that. That's gonna be definitely gonna have that. So make sure you follow OTB_network, Off the Ball Network on Facebook, on Instagram for more updates on that. And we'll have more details on that. But like I said, draft's 12 days away. Like I said, let me know who should have been the first round. What pick was crazy? How do you feel about the Knicks pick? Knicks fans, let me know how you feel. I talked about that with my guys. One Triple M, a Knicks fan, a while, and about Jaden Hardy. People a little skeptical about that pick, but talk to me about that. Talk to me about who should have been the first round, who you think's gonna drop, and all that, and all that good stuff. But I'm Chris LeBron. Follow me on social media, Off the Ball Pod, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure to follow the YouTube account, Off the Ball Network. That's where this is going to post a lot of our shows. We got a lot of great content. Got some big news potentially coming up with the network, so I'm very excited about that. That's going to be big for the network going down the line. So, like I said, man, NBA draft 12 days away, June 23rd, gonna be crazy. Can't wait. Draft's gonna pretty essentially start at 4. What's gonna be the kink in the trade? Who's gonna move up to 4? Who's getting Jay and Ivy? Who's gonna be the number 1 pick? Is it Jabari? Is it Chet? Who the Knicks gonna take? Who you gonna? Knicks fans gonna boo? It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, like I said, thank you for listening. Make sure to check the show out on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music. It's on. The show's available on all your podcast platforms. On YouTube, make sure you go on YouTube, check out the show, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. We're trying to get the YouTube going, trying to get to 300, 400. We're trying to grow this thing, baby. So on that note, be well, be safe, take care. Let me know how you feel about the draft and all that. Let's talk. Like I said, Off the Ball Pod. Follow me, OTB_network is the network. Follow me on my personal page. I don't even know. I forgot my personal handle. But it's on my Off the Ball, so you could just go there, hit me up. Let's talk draft. Let's do that. Be well, be safe, take care. Peace out.
Start spreading the news. We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
New York, I love you. I love New York.